What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this is perhaps a more lighthearted video because Lord knows we could all use it from time to time. There's, at least in this country here in the United States, and perhaps in other countries too, there's a general overpopulation, I think, of elites, of educators, and people that, you know, especially these like woke college professors who are more interested, in my opinion, in politics and indoctrinating their children than educating them with skills that will actually be helpful for their life. But that's neither here nor there. We had one woke college professor have an absolute backfire over the weekend after appearing to shade hardworking hourly and, you know, hardworking non-elite ivory towerers. In this particular case, it was the fact that a general manager at a Panda Express starting salary was nearly $70,000, and he didn't like that. He thought he should be paid much more than that, and then it was essentially ridiculous. And Twitter absolutely destroyed him. And we're going to take just a little look at some of the hilarity surrounding this totally brain-dead tweet after a quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Hey, October is Cybersecurity Month, and they've got an amazing offer for you. It's 2021. If you don't have a VPN yet, there are several reasons why you'll want to sign up today. One, you can browse anonymously. Keep your browsing habits to yourself. You can keep your data away from big tech so that they can't resell it. And you can access region-locked content so you can open up a whole new catalog of online content to enjoy, whether it's anime or movies that might not be available in your area. You can get at it using a VPN. And the VPN I use on my phone, my tablets, my PCs, and my laptops is Private Internet Access, and they've given an amazing offer. It's just $1.98 a month with 4 months free with a 3-year subscription. If you haven't signed up today, use my link in the description or pinned comment down below to get Private Internet Access today. Now let's start with the article. Westminster College professor trolled for comparing his salary to Panda Express managers. Dr. Spencer Bagley didn't want to sound like an elitist, but the trolls accused him of being one. Well, he definitely did sound like one. A professor who reportedly teaches at Westminster College in New Wilmington has been slammed online after he compared his salary to the income of a Panda Express manager. By the way, that's a general manager, and I'm assuming if you're a general manager at Panda Express, you're probably working 80 to 100 hours a week, and a college professor probably works 12 hours a week, okay? 12 on average. Remember, they also have summers off, and they have a month off for Christmas, and they have spring break, and they have every other obscure holiday off. So, yeah. The original tweet wrote, "My salary as an associate professor of mathematics at Westminster College, 3 blocks away from this sign, $61,500. His tweet was accompanied by a photo of the advertisement by Panda Express, the largest Asian segment restaurant chain in the United States. The ad suggested that the fast food restaurant was looking for general managers willing to pay about $70K a year plus bonus. The ad also offered job opportunities to assistant managers with compensation of $20 an hour and bonus, and kitchen and service team with the salary of $15 to $19 an hour." In his next tweet, Bagley wrote, "I promise that this tweet is not elitist." He only wrote that after getting absolutely destroyed. "But anyway, I'm muting my mentions because they are now unusable. Go hug a local educator." No. Here's the thing. I think that there are many excellent educators. Many. There are also a huge problem with many bad ones. And teachers' unions, for example, keeping the bad ones in place. Also, we have these ideologue professors, which, by the way, probably far, are significantly overrepresented. Let me put it this way. And now, obviously, things have probably changed since the year 2000. So I completed my undergrad and my master's degree back in, 2002 through 2007. I probably had 100 different professors, maybe 50 to 100. Never once did I have a single one of them talk about anything like this, ever. I came to class and they taught what was supposed to be taught. No anecdotes, no telling people what they should think, no defund this, no protest that. Not a single time ever. I went to the University of Whitewater. I'm going back in fall for my doctorate. Now, if it changed, they're not going to get my money for a doctoral program. But the fact of the matter is, I never in my life saw any of it. So every one of my professors, you know, they weren't all great at their job. Most of them were good, and most of them seemed to really care about their students. However, there are professors like this. We know that because they're filmed constantly. The point of this tweet is that professors make way less than you think they do. That's all. Well, I don't know. The professor's tweet did not impress many, as a critic blasted him by saying 61.5K to 70K equals $7,500 less annually. What formula exactly did you use to come up with the conclusion that you're making way less than a general manager at Panda Express, which has great but somewhat overpriced food? Oh, what he's saying is, he makes less annually. I don't get that. Maybe he's figuring time off. The second critic said, the sign also says total potential annual compensation or earnings, likely a base that requires certain performance targets be met, and the bonus is paid if higher targets are met. The 70K is not just having to deal with academia's politics. Next time I'm an associate professor of mathematics and I make $61,000 a year, I know it might sound like a lot to me, but I'll tell you what an average day looks like for me. Oh, and those breaks and holidays. I'm still working. No need for a pick. The third one noted. Like, it's funny that, like, college costs way too much. Students leave college with soul-crushing debt. That's true. You underestimate the work that goes into running a 7-day-a-week, 12-hour-a-day job restaurant, which relies on entry-level workers to show up every day, to have quality staff service, cleanliness, etc. is tough. Why don't you try it for a year? Herein lies the growing disdain for capitalism among the educated. We've overproduced educated elites with propped up education lending, and now they bemoan their low market values in a relatively crowded field or profession they chose. Easier to blame the system than accept responsibility. That was probably my favorite tweet. By the way, that got 5,000 likes. He's comparing being a college professor, with many obscure holidays, a 2-month winter break, spring break, and probably 30-hour weeks, to a high-stress, fast-paced job that's likely a minimum of 60 hours a week with no holidays off. What a poor guy. Just getting absolutely demolished. And if you look at a lot of the people that get into the trades, by the way, 70 grand a year is very doable. Truckers, plumbers, electricians, if they're willing to do the work, can make 100K a year, like relatively easy, especially in this market. Maybe not just starting out, but once they've got their time in, once they've got their journeymans, they can make more than 100. They can make 150 grand a year. I've got friends that are on road construction crews that all make $140,000 to $160,000 a year. And they don't have any, they don't have these college educations, but they work hard, and that doesn't mean they're any less smart. And like, if you look at some of the other replies, it's just hilarious. Here's 3,000 likes. Wow, very disturbed by the comments and disdain for education. If that is how the next generation feels about higher ed, then we're more at risk in this country than I expected. What? I don't worship educators. I don't worship anything, really. But I give credit to high quality educators, but not educators TM, just like that cringe, all nurses are heroes. No, they're not. And I say that frankly, and my sister's a nurse, and she also thinks that's cringe. I mean, there are good people in all fields, and there are bad people in all fields. I mean, like, do people think professors should earn less than 70K? There has never been respect for educators. 70 grand, what world? Is that nothing nowadays? I guess that when I grew up, 40 to 50K was a good paying job that you could live on. I suppose it's not quite as easy nowadays as it used to be, but 70 grand is not nothing. And also, by the way, you're also free to work other jobs too. You're also free to make YouTube videos and earn a living. You're free to be an entrepreneur. You're free to publish your own books. You're free to do all sorts of things in your numerous amounts of free time as a professor. Yes, the good professors work a ton. I never went to college, worked in restaurants and hotels all my life. Now I make $95K a year as a director of food and beverage for a large hotel. School is no longer required. It's experience that people look for, not education. I could say this. In many fields, that's true. For me, I never got asked once for my transcripts for grades in college. I never had, and I've worked in corporate, like I worked in tech. I worked in corporate America since when I was 26 until I was 35. I had many jobs and it was never an issue. It was never an issue with, your salary should be a lot lower. I mean, at least he's a mathematics professor and not like a gender studies professor, because that would have been even worse. But most people, you shouldn't even be paid that much, just endlessly getting destroyed. By the way, yeah, apply for the job. Sounds like you have nothing to lose except your title. Yeah, I mean, 70K, you can get a nice little raise there. Of course, he's now changed it. All skilled labor. All labor is skilled labor. All workers are underpaid. Twitter was a mistake, LOL. Maybe having a terribly elitist ivory tower take, assuming that your work in some small school teaching math is somehow supposed to get paid millions of dollars. I just don't understand. But the internet gives me hope from time to time, and this one was an absolute backfire. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out For the End of the Day. If you don't have private internet access, make sure you go ahead and get that. They have a massive discount right now for my viewers. Just follow the link in the pinned comment, and we'll talk to you again real soon.